Satan a lot of swearing, a lot of sex. But the reason I'm having like it's odd like growing up the way I grew up and then like watching this, it kind of goes. It's weird. It kind of feels like you was a kid and you went maybe watched the movie you wasn't supposed to be watching. Like as you know, it was R rated or whatever, and it was like cussing and violence. Like for
Mm-hmm.
me, like playing San Andreas. Like San Andreas is one of them games like I didn't want to be caught playing because I didn't want to have to explain it. Like because I knew I wasn't going to be allowed to explain it. It's kind of like that. Like teenager me, one would have been terrified to watch this show, and two would not have been allowed to watch this show because not only is it vulgar as hell, but it is like just demonic. It is an evil show. It's devil, devil. But I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about the fact that in the last episode specifically, they had these Satanists. Ouch, my back. Basically, they had all these people talking about how they sold their soul to Satan for things. Basically, like I sold my soul to Satan for like this house and just all these things that the Dark Lord provided. Yay, Satan! And but then they start talking about how like the world is evil and like they want all these like
I don't know why they touch the fucking screen when there's an advertisement on
nothing
it.
made sense
Because it'll just
because
take
they
you
were
to a
talking
website.
they went out of their way to get all these worldly possessions, but then they want basically the world to be this lawless place filled with evil people. I was like, no, you don't, because the one thing I think people like that don't think about is if it's easy for you to do it, it's easy for someone else to do it.
All right.
So you're sitting there like, oh yes, let people be evil and let the world be lawless. Okay, so somebody just kills you then. It's like so what like
Kills all of your fellow devil worshiper family members and things of that nature.
I was like, yeah, so that doesn't make any sense, like logically. And then like there's this one lady who's talking about like she sold her soul and like Satan like provided all these nice things and how she gets to have sex with Brad Pitt and fucking Ryan Reynolds, and it was when she said that I thought she was taking the piss. I really didn't know she was being serious, but apparently she was being very serious. And then she talks to Michael, the Antichrist, and she's like, "Will you put in a good word with me for your father? Like I want to be in the lowest like part of hell. Like I want to be in the fires for all eternity." I'm like, "Bitch, why? Why would that be a desire? Why would you want that? Like that makes zero sense."
No, no, it does. It does, depending on what you believe.
Okay, explain.
If we're talking about hell in the traditional sense, she don't want that, but she doesn't believe hell to be what it is in its traditional sense. Nobody wants to go to hell in this traditional sense. Nobody.
But like, when I say like the way they describe it, like she believes there's X number of circles of hell, and like it gets worse as the further you go down, or however she's like, however it's designed, she wants to be in the worst part of it. Like she wants to be tortured for all of eternity, and it's like, bitch, why? Like
Maybe they're in the
I don't
BDSM and
get.
they think that's like the ultimate BDSM.
No.
It's forever.
I mean, I'm not saying that I agree with it. I'm just saying.
I know you. I know. I know you. I know you. Just. I know you can understand her thinking, but her thinking is fucked. The reason I think her thinking is fucked, not because she wants it. Fine, you want it. I'm not gonna question it because it's stupid as fuck, and you're allowed to be dumb.
She don't want it because she don't know what it is.
You sold your soul to have stuff.
You know what it is? You know what it's the equivalent of? It's the equivalent of of street niggas who claim they want to be doing street-ish, which will involve them getting shot, and they're down with that until they get shot, and then they got that shocked ass look on their face, like as they're going down, like that's what that is.
I'm like that. The only part that I didn't understand was you want stuff. Like these two dudes who apparently sold their souls and now they do cocaine. They never OD, and they're rich. They're in the, they're basically they make they're in the process of making a robot with hand that jacks you off. The fucked up part about it was when they showed it for the first time and the robot arm was doing its thing. I really didn't realize what was happening. I thought it was because I just got done playing Spider Man like earlier that week, so I thought it was just a prosthetic. I didn't get it. I didn't get that it was jacking something off. I was like, oh, and I mean, it wasn't masturbating an actual thing. It was just making the motion, and I really didn't get it. I was like, grown ass me missed that, and like it took me a couple seconds to like, oh, the sex toy. I was like, I ain't catch it. I was like, but y'all believe in Satan and y'all want all these things. Y'all want life stuff. Y'all want human shit. And then it doesn't make any fucking sense. That goes against itself. You want to be happy, and you want to have stuff, and you want to have riches, but then you want to go to hell. That doesn't make any fucking sense.
Well, like I said, it all depends on what because for some strange reason they might believe that they'll be okay in hell. Like old girl said, she want to go to the deepest, darkest pits of hell. She feels that she will be that's where she wants to be, and she will be okay where she at.
That makes no fucking sense. Not
Yeah,
even
going
if
off.
you.
That's just their logic.
That's fucking stupid.
Oh, absolutely. That's USDA prime dumbass right there. Please,
Dumbass.
you best believe it. That came straight from the moose's ass right there.
And I understand. It's like, well, this is their religion. This is what they believe in. Like, it doesn't make any sense. It's like you're on planet Earth and you can feel pain now. Like you do. Like, and according to you, you seem to grasp that in hell you will still be able to feel pain, but the pain will never be enough to kill you. You understand that you will burn for eternity. Like, that is going to be your life. Why would you want that? And on top of that, if you're willing to suffer like that forever, why would you want stuff in the real, like in life? Why does stuff matter to you? Like, why would you sell?
I mean, it's more of an instant gratification thing.
I'm about to say, the devil ain't here to ask you questions. He's here to take orders.
He's already got your payment. He doesn't really give a fuck at this point.
No, he don't. He's getting what he wants. Sure. Stupid idiot. Devil is Satan is the ultimate dickweed Rahul. Please believe. He done got your extremely rare and godlike Ingrams already. You ain't getting shit in return. You better believe it.
Makes no sense.
Now get the fuck out of my line.
Oh, that part of the show fucked with me so tough. All these people like, yeah, I sold my soul for this, and like, look at me, I'm rich and I'm happy, I'm yada yada yada, and I was like, bitch, what?
So you sold your soul for an eternity of pain and misery, so you could be happy for 5 minutes.
I was like, what the fuck? Even, what is the logic behind that? It's like, I want to be happy on Earth. It's like, but I want to suffer in hell. Why not just start suffering now? Like, I mean, get the fuck out of the way. I mean, you could be a shithead broke. You can go to hell and be broke your whole life. He ain't had to give you stuff. I was like, but you wanted stuff. Like, that was like, I don't know why, but I got stuck on that. I got stuck on the whole stuff part. I got stuck on the we want things. I want money. I fucked up. That ruined me. I didn't get it. I was like, that makes no sense. That makes zero sense. You want stuff, but you also want to go.
Devil himself is probably laughing like, 80% of these morons had no idea that these good things were gonna happen to them anyway.
For real, like you sitting up there like,
Like this person got this house and this cool job. That was gonna happen regardless. They didn't know that though.
I feel like
He ain't,
the
he ain't
reality
there to
in
ask
reality.
questions. So.
Satan is like they don't know I can't do anything. Like they have no idea. Like they think I am the reason they're getting all these blessings. I ain't got that kind of power. I never had that kind of power. Like what in the Bible did you read where it said Satan had the same powers as God? I ain't never had that kind of power. Why would you assume I do? I can't do that. But you gonna give me the one thing that you can. Whatever. I was like, I don't think y'all understood that.
I, once the money started rolling in, you then stop asking questions. F it.
I was like, Satan's like, y'all do realize I loved God. I did. Like, I didn't leave heaven. I got kicked. It was like I'm only like I only. Satan is like legit just the angsty teenager who just feels like he's entitled to everything, and when he didn't get what he wanted, he had an hissy fit. That's literally what Satan is. He's like, but we're like way cooler than all those other people. It's like, why do you show favor to them? Because I can.
He say the
Well,
he say the fam don't get cheddar biscuits, granddad.
like these is eating cheddar biscuits. And it's like, so God sent me to Earth, like, and He told me like, that's where you are now. This is your life, like, cause that's what it is. It's like I don't know exactly how Satan got the chance to rule hell. I don't remember that, but I just know he was sent to Earth, and he was forced to just. This is where he lives. Like he's just on Earth, and it's like, cause whatever. You sold your soul to Satan, and this like, yes, I'll praise the Dark Lord. But it's like, man. It's kind of like when you walk up to David Blaine, you hand him a cup of coffee, and he's like, man, I saw where you turned this homeless dude a cup of coffee, and it's like a whole thing of change. I mean, hook me up. David's like, you people are stupid. Believe in whatever religion you want to believe in, but when it comes to Satanism, if you believe in Satanism, again, you're free to practice it. You're a stupid person. Like, Satan is the dude at the club. You the thought. He want to fuck. What you need to hear to let him get in them draws tonight? What can I do to get you in my bed today? Like, look at like. If he can tell you, he can make your hair grow back. Satan will be like, yeah, you'll have to get an afro pick by tomorrow afternoon, boy. Man, you have to be as bald as a new baby's ass. You ain't gonna have no hair. You just came up off that pocket though. It's like you try to call Satan back, man. This ain't working. It's like I'm gonna call this dude up. But no, you're trying to reach him to disconnect. Yeah, you ain't leaving no contact information for your stupid ass. Gee, what the fuck is wrong with y'all?
And again, it's like I say, and the story of good and evil, why you would choose evil is just beyond me.
It's like I tried to do the good thing, it didn't work. Okay, and for some reason you think doing the bad thing now will work, because that's what, given what you said, that's what it sounds. That's where it sounds like you're going. And who daddy that's stupid. That's a whole lot of dumb right there. Like, nah, just saying, like I tried to okay, so basically, you're trying to feed me this. Okay, here's what happened. You think you tried really, really hard your entire life to be a good person, hoping that it would get you something. And it hasn't gotten you anywhere, and you're upset. That's what you think happened. When in reality, you were a shithead trying to pretend to not be a shithead your entire life.
Right.
Because if it's this easy for you to do the bad stuff, this is your natural. This is what you are. being the good guy is you. In reality, you being an asshole is your Superman, and being a nice guy is Clark Kent. You pretend to be Clark Kent. In reality, you are Superman. You shitty fucking person. You.
Well, that is not how it works, man. That is not how it works.
Penn and Teller did bring. They brought because Penn doesn't believe in like he doesn't believe in like higher powers and stuff. But he was like, we don't. He's like, as like an atheist, he doesn't do good things because he thinks it will return something good to him. He does good things because it's who he is. He's like, I don't need to be. A person shouldn't have to have an incentive to not be bad.
Exactly. Exactly. This is true.
It's kind of fucked up because I feel like that's legit. Like how a lot of criminals have been caught is like, yeah, you're gonna go to jail. It's like, well, I got some information about this dude who's been killing little kids on the east side. You cut me a deal, I tell you what's up. This dude's just been killing kids. Why don't you just tell us who the fuck he is? Matter of fact, if you've known this already, why the fuck did you know you were gonna go to jail soon? And you was like, this information right here, boy, that's gonna be my leverage.
My ace and all. My get out of jail free card.
Some kids has been getting killed up, just out there, just waiting for no opportunity to drop that dime. You suck.
Boy, he had them holding that crock pot full of beans, about to spill them all on the floor, though. I couldn't wait.
That ain't good. Watch out.
Sound like guts hitting the floor.
Like somebody just straight threw up, just wet. I'm like, yeah, nigga, live over there. It's like, all right, we'll cut you a bit and get half the time. All right, cool. You getting life, but figure that out on your own. I'll let you do the math on that. Oh, Satanists, y'all are stupid. Y'all are so bad. Y'all are extra stupid. I sold my soul to Satan for an Xbox 360. Wow. That's all I can give you. Satan give you the Xbox 360 and immediately red ring of death. I feel Satan works like a genie. It's like, I want this. Alright. Should have thought that through, but whatever. Oh my gosh, is that not the plot of fucking Bedazzled? Shoot me. What's the name of that fucking movie with Brendan Fraser and Elizabeth Hurley? Because I remember the name of Elizabeth Hurley. I can't remember the name of the fucking movie. It's not Bamboozled. It's not Bedazzled. Mark.
What?
Name of that movie.
I don't know.
Jordan know it. Jordan, what's the name of the movie?
Nope.
I have got to get used to this song. And
You had it right the first time.
Bedazzled?
Yeah,
Fuck out of here. That's the name of that movie.
that's the name
Get
of that movie.
this shit. That is hilarious. Okay, yeah, I'm looking at her filmography now. She's in Dangerous Grounds with Ice Cube.
What makes the ground so dangerous?
Ice Cube was there.
Okay.
What?
I pooped his pants.
Right?
Everybody ran away. Nah, freaking watching Shin Chan and Georgie pooped his pants. And I was walking home with the rain all extra sad.
Still our best shot. I'll try to find the place. Thanks. Philip's photo is my only lead again. Gotta find this location. The picture shows elevated train tracks, like the ones up in East Harlem.
Oh, these just.
Like the ones up in East Harlem. Where the fuck is East Harlem?
A delayed reaction. That's not good. There could be corrupted local time bombs all over Manhattan. Looks like there's a bridge at the end of the tracks.
Oh, I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Okay, what's that? I bought a poster.
Of?
It's a very, very, very large poster
Dick.
of the original TMNT movie.
Oh. That's cool.
Yeah, this dude on eBay on Facebook was selling them. And I was like, he's like 18 bucks. I was like, and it's like 30 something by 22, which is a whole lot of posters. Yeah.
Those would be the ones they probably had at the movie theater.
Yeah, and he apparently had like a grip of them. He was like unloading them. It's like 25 bucks or something. Like shipping, like in total, like 25 bucks. That's pretty solid deal. And I just gotta find me a frame to put it in, and just pin it to the wall.
I feel like he could be making a lot more money.
Me?
No, he could be making a lot more money. The seller.
Probably, because I mean, I wouldn't swear to it that they weren't reprints, but they do come like in a like you know what a poster comes in like from Walmart, like the ones that are rolled up and they come in the plastic. Yeah, it comes in notes. Can't believe I still made that fucking mistake. I was trying to buy that damn that TMNT poster at Walmart that night. We all went out, and I fucked up and grabbed a One Direction poster by mistake.
Gee, this sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Because you were there.
Yeah.
I mean, well, obviously, because you said we are.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I could. Okay, the thing was, it was a black and white poster with all their with each turtle's hand holding their weapon. From the
Sure.
from
Sure,
the
that's
first,
what it was.
that's
Sure
what no, that's what was on the no.
One Direction holding.
Okay, no.
Different
Okay,
weapons and had bandanas.
listen. So, like, that's what the poster was supposed to be. So it told me it was in like a certain location. So I looked at what was visible, and I basically just saw white and black. So I snatched the poster up. It was where it said it was supposed to be, and I somehow grabbed it. Just wasn't what I got the wrong one, and I clearly couldn't open it in the store. So it wasn't until we got home the next day, and I was like, "Oh, that's whoa."
Damn.
I gave it away.
Who took it?
Didn't you give it to the kids or something like that?
No, I gave it to Erica, and she gave it to her cousin or somebody.
Boom, 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 boom.
I paid it for. I paid it forward. Somebody, like, I'd already paid for it. We wasn't finna go back. I was like, out of hell with it. I wasn't finna. And normally it's like, well, I'll just keep it. Like, the fuck for?
One Direction poster. They don't even want their poster.
Like, they
Which is
don't.
why they're selling them now.
I'm like, shit, like, who the hell can I? What? No. Like, there's no way to justify putting okay, it's like when I bought that light up keyboard and my laptop does not support the light up keyboard. It's in the closet. Like, it's like, all right, this is a really nice keyboard, and it does do what it's supposed to do. And if I ever get a laptop that can support this, I'll have a keyboard for it. I probably never will, but it's like a $25 keyboard. and if I can sell it, I'll sell it. But as of right now, fuck it. It's like I ain't gonna just get rid of it because it don't work. No, that poster, like, yeah, I'd have thrown that motherfucker away. Like I would have. I'd eventually thrown the fucking poster away because I didn't want it. This is like I don't like One Direction, but I didn't even know anybody who kind of liked One Direction.
Nah.
So there was like no justifiable reason to keep it.
Oh.
Still really wish I could have had this damn TV. I don't know where the hell I would have put it. But I would have rather have had that.
This is like, what's up? Take this poster back the direction it came from.
For real. Ain't like, yeah. Ain't but one direction this poster was good, and that's the future. Fuck.
One of the type of videos. This is what should be done to a One Direction poster. Make it look like you're about to hang it up and then destroy it.
It was like have it by the corners, at like the top corners, looking like I'm about to like pin it to the wall and then just drop it into a paper tray. How to hang a One Direction poster? First grab a thumbtack. Then get a poster frame. Then get some gasoline. Drop the poster in the gasoline. Light a match. And hang up Pamela Anderson like a real man. Like that bitch ain't passed up, Brian.
It's not a new picture. Oh, hell no.
Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. There's an old picture of Pamela Anderson. Pamela ain't got new pictures.
Snap, crackle, pop.
One, two, Lindsay. Am I not doing it? The screwball challenge.
You doing challenges now? Damn, Mark. How the mighty has fallen.
Well, in that case,
Equip your camera. Aim camera. Take photo.
Alright.
Alright.
this is starting to sound time-consuming. Sorry, but people need my help.
Yes, yes, Barney now where? Having it up. Yeah, so that phrase that you was talking about. Yeah, you said there's like a not like basically there's like.
This one isn't going to be so simple.
All right. Every janky ass like countryism. There's another way of saying it. Like it's like every country backwoods way. Like the new one we heard that I heard the other day, cutting from asshole to appetite. There's another way of saying you got cut up real bad. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm using that at some point. I'm gonna write that into a rhyme at some point. and cut some asshole appetite. A fucking weird group of work. So the thing you was thinking of, Jay, I was trying to figure out what's the normal way to say that, so I could try to like get back to figuring out what it was.
Too bad, guys. We'll have to go back to the cinnamon challenge. Just say hashtag out loud. That's honestly almost as bad as the kidnapping.
Jesus Christ. Still.
Okay, this picture of J-Lo wearing a whole lot of nothing.
There's the other code. Split across 2 buildings.
Goodness gracious, girl.
Finesse.
What's she wearing? Next to nothing.
Nothing. Yeah. Severely. I saw it now. So apparently, he now has a ham.
It has a ham.
Monster Energy ham, caffeinated meat.
Hey, hey.
What's wrong, Mark?
No.
No, what, Mark?
Wait a minute. Where's the rum ham?
Rum ham! I can't believe they fucking found it.
Address isn't far from here. I need to hurry.
Oh, it was a bit off.
Oh, motherfucker.
Cameras everywhere. This is it. Can you hear me? Hold on. I'm gonna rip the door down.
This bitch is nuts.
Screwball.
I'm in the library and there's a boyfriend helping his girlfriend study. And I've been overhearing parts of the conversation for the last hour. And he just said, babe, I'm gonna be honest with you. You're gonna fail this test. I love you, but there's nothing we can do about it now.
Knock her phone on, just smacked one in the head. It popped her in the nose.
Yeah, fucking J-Lo was doing all she could. I don't know what her point. I don't know what the point she was trying to make was.
Did she make it?
But I feel like she made it.
Okay. That's the important thing.
And J-Lo's thought process is she made it. Do people still know I got an ass? Let me show y'all I still got an ass. Cause damn, J-Lo, it's scary. Like, what the hell is holding that dress on? the hopes and wishes of all the lost children. This is for all lost children, wishing them well, wishing them well. Man, I sent you mark that picture. Let me see. I'm just send Jordan's damn picture. I don't know what that was. I don't know, Jordan, why this is funny, but this picture feels funny. Google. I don't know why this is funny as shit to me, but look at Devontae's face and tell me it don't just make the whole damn picture.
He has a point. It'd be hard to make anything stick.
Like, I think that's why it's funny.
Really starting to hit the limit.
Fuck it, that picture's funny. It's not intentional, but it's funny. Oh, Google Photos. Y'all be picking some of the most random ass.
What the hell? Why is this picture? What is this mashup here? I don't understand.
The more you look at it, the funnier it gets.
Yeah, what the hell is this about?
John does not approve of them out there. He just don't. John don't approve, and Devontae refuses. He don't know what he refusing, and he ain't having it.
So that's Vado. Who the hell is that other dude?
That's Donzo.
Okay, that's what I figured that was.
Oh fuck. That's from 4 years ago. Jesus Christ. Okay, so my Google Photos backup thing, like it'll just basically back up my photos, and every like year or so, whenever an anniversary of a photo comes up, it'll be like, hey, rediscover this day, and it'll like show me all. Fuck it, let's be real here. It'll show me all the porn it backed. Oh, that day. And every now and then it'll like mash up like some pictures that feels like go really well together. So I have like this one picture, this one collage of these 3 pictures of baby Jalen, and it's a really good mashup. And then there was the picture of the girl wearing the White Ranger cosplay, which was really nice. But then that one, it's something about because Devontae and Don and Cullens look like rappers sitting outside. Somebody who looks threatened. And John's facial expression and Devontae's facial expression, it feels like there's a fight about to happen.
About to square up.
And every time I look at it, it cracks me the fuck up. Devontae just looks like your generic everyday black dude. It was like there was a photo being taken, I couldn't smile. It goes against the code.
He's just leading me on a chase. That's what's gonna be fine.
Code, I'm stuck in code.
John's up there like, smell hip hop. This could be bad. Oh, fuck me. Oh. Oh, gosh. Oh, man.
I was too late to stop her here. More locations should give me enough.
Again, you threw that, and I don't know if you were aiming for me or not, but you threw it, and it hit the ground at your feet. Oh man. Whew. This is for all. This is for all. I'm gonna punch your face in. I'd really appreciate it if you didn't, if I'm being completely honest. Hey, what changed? Buy some socks already. Ha ha ha. Listen to me. Listen to me quick. I'm Spider-Man.
I've not heard this socks thing yet that you keep talking about.
You have. It's just been so long ago. You don't remember hearing it. It's during one of the fifth hideouts, and
Oh.
it happens. It's scripted at this location. Like when the fourth wave hits, he will say it like without hesitation. It's like clockwork.
Um,
You're in timeout.
Someone finally reported shots fired. Yeah, really? Like they started shooting at me like 10 minutes ago. Well, it's New York. Hell, where shots are actually being fired versus when shots are being fired necessary. Hi, my name is Peter Parker, and I'm here as an advocate for. Hey, Mark, what's that PAP screening called? PAP smear. I'm here as an advocate for PAP. Does your uterus not quite feel normal? Maybe weird pH balance. And you've been having sex with a genetically altered human. Maybe you're slowly being radiated from the inside out. Pap screening will show you.
Alright, so I got bro.
oh,
I ain't far behind, so you didn't move. This is for all of your friends.
I will catch you guys on the flip side.
you don't.
Later, players.
Later, world. My ass. So, those comic panels I sent you from the TMNT comics I was looking at. Like, okay, so the line I was reading is called TMNT Universe. And it seems like it tells a very small story, and then I don't know if it's telling like several different stories, or if it's like telling one continuous story, like in a different way, like after it like ends an arc. So like the art style changes like every couple of issues. And the one with the as told by Ginger looking ass, like I didn't know how to feel about it. Like Michelangelo just looked weird. Like it looked really weird. And it was you ever seen something that was creepy but it shouldn't have been?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's how that made me feel. It was unsettling to me, but I'm not sure why. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean.
Tombstone's men are gone.
I
Time to find out
feel.
what's in those barrels.
I mean, that's a usual thing with comics, like, especially when they have deadlines, they will have different artists work on different issues to try to get them all done at the same time and then have the release
Oh no
from
no
there.
no no! This ain't that.
Okay.
This ain't that. When I say this ain't that, I ain't just. I mean what I mean is, um, at the end of the fourth issue, it literally said the end at the bottom of the last panel.
Isn't this the chemical
Like that was
Tombstone
it.
was exposed to as a kid?
And it
What's he
doesn't really
doing with it
feel
now?
like the stories that came after that picked up later. So it doesn't. What I'm trying to say is, it doesn't feel like one big story. It feels like multiple small stories in one comic book, and like each story seems to have a different illustrator, and it's just really
I'm guessing that
weird.
stuff's not
Like
fireproof.
the art style, because it like I can say there's been like so many different ways the turtles have been visually represented. Like, but when it comes to the comics, like it's just like this really, really weird. Anything kind of goes
What
mentality.
needs more drugs? Somehow I should these guys about the dangers of peer pressure.
Because, like I told you that they stuck Donatello inside Metalhead, right?
No. Wait, did you?
I didn't.
I don't think you did.
Probably not. All right, so you know that Rocksteady crushes Donatello's shell, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so after that happens, Professor Honeycutt, aka Fugitive, comes up with this way to salvage Donatello's consciousness. Like, he's able to digitize Donatello's memories, and he uploads them into Metalhead. All
Alright.
right. Okay, I clearly didn't tell you this. All right, um, so for a while, it was just the three brothers and Metalhead Donatello. Like, he was able to speak to them with his memories and everything of them. It was him, but inside Metalhead's body.
Yeah.
So something happens, and they're able to restore Donatello's body. Like it heals enough, so they find a way to like bring him back, basically. And when they say bring him back, like they mean like they take the consciousness inside Metalhead and transfer it back into Donatello's body. But Donatello and then Metalhead gets exploded. Like I don't know if it like self destructs or if it gets blown up because I didn't see it. But because I just wasn't part of the comic line. But what ends up happening is like the Donatello is determined to put Metalhead back together. And he does.
Should
So he
analyze
puts
that
Metalhead
data.
back together. And while some of the bugs are being worked out, Metalhead just kind of comes back too. I didn't explain that last bit very well. It wasn't working. It did. It didn't kind of work. Then he tried. Then it kind of went haywire. Then out of nowhere, it just kind of kicked back in. And Metalhead is talking to Donatello, and they real. And then basically Donatello's consciousness somehow is still inside Metalhead.
Okay, so there's
So
two different versions of Donatello, basically.
yes, but it seems like it seems like the one inside Metalhead doesn't realize it kind of becomes sentient in a really weird way because the one inside Donatello realizes that it feels it yeah it basically feels all the things that happened to him before like he was put into the robot body. He feels all those things. He remembers everything,
I mean, he
and it
is
still has his.
that, to be
Yes,
completely
it's still
technical.
him. Is the weird. Basically, it's a duplicate,
Yeah.
and he has this existential crisis where he realizes he's never going to be able to get back inside of his own body because he's already inside of his own body. But but he kind of feels like, no, like that's not the real me. Like this is the real me, and I can't have my life back because, yeah, and he does have this. Leonardo is basically like, like they don't like we don't need to take Metalhead out or anything like that because he's not ready. And Donatello like just kind of like sneaks him out of the house and like tries to like show him like try to take him to some of their favorite places. And he ends up taking him to the zoo, and he sees one of the rhinoceri, and he has this flashback of Rocksteady like hidden in the shell. Because I think the reason for that is because at the time, like Metalhead's body was nearby, because it was part of this big like plot plan. Like they were supposed to like work with Shredder to take down this other group of bad guys. I think it's Krang. But Shredder left Bebop and Rocksteady behind to guard Donatello, and I guess it was all part of the plan was to like to take Donatello out in general, like anyway. And so he has this weird like Vietnam style flashback, and he tries to set some of the animals free because he's like, it's not fair that they're in cages. Basically, he realized like, they're just like him. They're stuck inside of a thing, and they can't get out. And so then he kind of he goes a little nuts, and he goes to kill Donatello because he's like, I want my life back, and I can't do that with you in my body. So he's gonna kill Donatello. I'm gonna send you the cover for this issue so you can really understand like how hard they were trying to drive home the point.
Time for some artisanal science.
Yeah, there it is.
There. Single dose of the counter drug. Just need to test it out. Maybe I should pay Tombstone a visit with its chop shop.
Well then.
I know, right? Like that. Like, is that not like is that not a fucked up image?
I mean, for what it is, yes. Very much so.
Okay, yeah, that's the flashback.
So this is where the party is.
And I think like I didn't finish reading it. Metalhead decides to he runs away basically. And he runs away because he's afraid,
Okay.
and he wants to have his life back. And I don't know like what he plans to do because I haven't read it. But Donatello gets beat up by Metalhead, and then Michelangelo thinks it's unfair for them to treat Metalhead differently. He feels like they should understand that he's basically just Donatello in a different body. And Raphael doesn't trust he doesn't trust the machine. Leonardo feels like they can't really trust it because it's yada yada yada. It doesn't know any better, and it's still kind of like not you know. What was it? I think the mother the computer chip that runs Metalhead is like severely damaged, and so there's a couple times where he just kind of like goes into deep defense mode, and he tried to shoot Donatello in like with a laser cannon. You know.
I mean, again, to be fair to him, he is Donatello.
Yeah. And that's what Michelangelo was trying to get across. Michelangelo was really trying to get across that, hey, like that's our brother, like technically still inside of him. And he was telling Leonardo, it's like you remember you were brainwashed by the foot, and you were leading the foot for a while. Like you were, well, not leading the foot, but you were, their ace in the hole. Because that happened in the series before this. Apparently, it's. I really want to read the series where Shredder and the Crane get taken down. It sounds interesting. This is for all lost children.
Oh, let's see.
But yeah, it's interesting to say. It's a very interesting comic line.
I mean, I think it's interesting what they've done with this story.
It they introduce characters that you've never heard of. I don't know who Old Hob is, but it's a lot more like, okay, I don't necessarily remember in like the 2003 comic if there were more mutants, but I know in the 2012 cartoon of the animated show, they really did push this idea of having like an entire like range of mutants like out in the world because of experiments and stuff. And like they really do push for that, and they really draw heavy in front either from that or it's represented in the comic. I don't know if it's from the comic or if it's from the show. But like the mutanimals, it's like this group of mutated animals that kind of like band together so they don't have to feel alone. And there's this
Yeah, you tell me about
with,
that. I think.
Yeah, and some of them from the show are in the mutanimals in the comic because in the show it's Slash, Leatherhead, this pigeon dude, Mondo Gecko, and April's. It's this April's dad's brain
And a monkey.
gets put into
Yeah, we've talked about this
and,
in Let's Play.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure even then you were baffled by what the fucker could have been. But in this, there's this is dog dude named he's a like the turtles. He's a humanoid dog man named Old Hob who apparently has like big beef with Splinter, and they fought on several occasions. And apparently Hun is running a dogfight ring, and him and Old Hob used to be partners until Hun was like, nah, fuck this. Like, I'm gonna push him out and like get my own. Not get my own, but he basically pushed Old Hob out. Took over the place they were using, and Hob is like, nah, I'm not for this. So he's staging an attack. But in the meantime, Leatherface is underneath in the sewers, and he hears these two men basically struggling with this dog to get it to the fight, and they kind of like expose where it's going to be. So Leatherhead, I probably said Leatherface, and I promise you this: when reading the comic earlier today, I read Leatherhead as Leatherface at least twice, and I didn't realize I was doing that until the third time I saw Leatherhead written down. And I was like, I have been saying that wrong. Like in my head, I've been reading that completely incorrectly. And like Leatherhead in the comic doesn't look the same. It's still a giant alligator, but his arms are very, very short. He looks more like a alligator would look if it was anthropomorphic, as opposed to like the cowboy alligator from the game, who had like regular man arms and guns and a cowboy hat and said yeehaw.
I don't recall the yeehaw, if I'm being honest.
It was
Implied.
very subtle, and it was implied through very subtle subtext, but it was there. Yeah, Old Hob tries to tell like Leatherhead that, yo man, we can work together, and It doesn't work. It doesn't go out. Yeah, go down the way it's supposed to, but yeah. Slash. He tries to tell him that there's all these like other creatures like him and Leatherhead that have banded together so people don't have to feel alone. And in the comic I sent you with Michelangelo, that episode is called something. I mean, that issue is called something. And basically, there's this. It started like a fucking crime drama. It started out like a legit cartoon episode. Like conflict was created at the start, and then it started. Michelangelo has to fight this thing called Worm, WYRM.
Is he a dragon?
No, it's apparently these slug-like creatures that came into contact with the mutagen, and then it seems like one got into contact with the mutagen, a few did, and you remember the episode of no, basically this one is able to like control all of them. They all work in the hive mind, work as a hive mind, and so they basically they can create this hulking creature, and they they take all the things that people throw away and they add them to their collection, and it feels like as long as they have stuff, as long as Worm has stuff, it's not alone.
You know, funny that they call themselves Worm, as in like the spelling of worm, like dragons, and they are obsessed with like hoarding shit. That just seems kind of fitting to me.
It might have been on purpose. I didn't pick up on that because I didn't know that was.
It might be a thing. I don't know if they're intentionally doing that or not. If not, if I was the one who created that, I'd say that was what I was doing.
But Worm ends up dying because Michelangelo set something on fire. And Michelangelo doesn't want to kill it. Michelangelo's just like, hey, we gotta go. And it's like, no, our stuff.
Not our stuff. We will be incomplete with our stuff.
Like, it basically says, like, without their, Worm feels without their things, they don't exist.
Yeah.
And at the beginning of the comic, it killed a city worker down there trying to like fix stuff, and it stepped on one of the. I couldn't even begin to tell you what these things were, like what they looked like. They weren't worms, not in the sense that you would expect them to be. But he stepped on one because it was insignificant and in the way.
As one does with worms.
And then that's when like the gigantic thing like shows up with its mallet, because it has a mallet, and then it crushes the dude. And so like in the comic, like in the bulk of it, this cop comes down and she's investigating on his disappearance, and it's kind of weird.
Is this the it's told by Ginger thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
So like the cop lady you saw, like her face was so weird to me. It made me unsettled. I didn't like it. Like I didn't hate it. It just made me uncomfortable. So when she bumps into Michelangelo, which I forget like how they bump into each other. Oh, I think they bump into each other because she was about to get attacked and he saved her. Fuck. Okay. And she's like, "What are you?" And he's like, "I'm a New Yorker, just like you, Woody." And she's like, "No, what are you doing down here?"
Yeah, the joke of you can't finish your sentence. I'm gonna do everything to avoid the question that everyone would
Well, that's
No,
the
I was gonna
thing.
ask.
The joke is that's the joke, but it's not the joke because she does finish the sentence. Like
Oh,
it's written as a complete sentence. What are you?
yeah.
And he was like dot dot and yeah, like and yeah.
So
And
did
so
he
there's a
actually know that she was trying to ask that, and he was just being a prick,
yes,
or
he was very aware of what was happening.
okay?
Yes, he was very aware. And there comes a point where she's like, "So let's get this straight. You are a giant talking turtle." And he's like, "You'll make detective in no time."
I mean, to be fair, he's not wrong.
No. So
Like, yes,
it's
I'm
just
clearly
like
a
the
giant turtle.
look, and surprise, surprise, I can talk. And just keep in mind, like that, the scenes like that can't come from anybody else. It has to be Michelangelo. Um, and by the end of the episode, like she says, like he's like, "Why are you down here?" And she's like, "Because a city worker went missing." And he's like, "So they just sent one person?" She's like, "No, they actually didn't want to send anybody, but it's my sister's husband." And I told her I would find out what happened, or at least try to bring him home. I told him I would. She told her she'd try to bring him home, or at the very least get answers. And she does get answers by the end of the comic, like as to what happened
Because he's dead.
to him.
He's fucking dead.
Yeah, she found the helmet he was wearing, and it was busted open and bleeding because he got hit with a giant fucking mallet. Uh, and then like Mikey is like, yeah, we can't like do. Like, basically, he's just letting them know that like she told him that she told him she wasn't gonna report it, and he was like, we appreciate it because we don't have much. We don't like, they don't have a big world because they live down here and they can't tell anybody and they only have like a few friends. And he was like, and I can consider you a friend now because
Gotta narrow it
you
down.
know about me and you're not gonna tell
Getting more
anybody,
helps.
which is
Was
important.
she robbed? They live? Found you. I think Lonesome Piggy lives here. Let's take her to a country singer. She's getting creative.
I'm really close to
Getting
finishing the
closer.
game.
One more ought to do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to power through and stream this a lot more, so that I can start
I'm
a
at
little bit.
81. I'm at 81% of the overall campaign. The campaign.
Last I checked, I'm at like 50 something. So
Ah, I got the trophies for doing all the stuff. So yeah, just keep a lookout, man. Yeah, Saints Row videos are gonna go up like starting Monday. Shit, starting today. Saints Row's going up. What I haven't done is pick a fucking versus mode for the month. I have no idea what that hurt. What is that? Gotta pull that here. I have no idea what to do. Like, I don't have many.
Come on. No turn signals? Gonna have to write you up. Here's your stuff.
I'm trying to think, have we gotten any games recently that are new-ish for that?
I mean, I got Mortal Kombat. I have Destiny, which is crazy.
Gotta get it away from civilians.
Some new videos.
Reinforcements. I'll give them this. Demons are good at recruiting. Bomb in the truck. Gotta neutralize it.
Oh yeah, forget about the bomb. Oh, I guess I'm not going to be doing that part.
What are you doing?
I was trying to disable a bomb.
I don't follow.
What do you mean?
How you? How? What bomb?
It was in the back of a
That's
truck.
bait. Ah,
But when I tossed it, it went straight into a tree, so there wasn't a lot I could do about that.
what mission is that for?
It's the thing where you stop the truck.
Oh, it's a crime.
Yeah, it's a random crime.
Oh,
I'm about to go do the last, get the last black cat picture. If only because. Why am I doing this? I mean, I don't. When I say why am I doing this, I mean, why am I swinging when I can fast travel? The answer is because it feels good to
just
swing.
swing. Right. That's the whole point. Did you know you can walk into the subway? You probably knew this. You can walk into the subway.
No, I did not.
If you find a subway, like if you find the like the things that go underground, like the subway like entrances.
Hmm.
If you walk into them, it'll immediately take you to them. Like it'll just open the fast travel screen. And you can just pick the destination you want to go to.
Well, that's convenient.
Not really.
Not really when you could just open the thing, but
Yeah, I'm about to say,
it's a
open the
nice
menu. It's a nice
it's a nice
nice
touch.
nod. Yeah,
Your location should give me the data I need to find Black
it's
Cat.
a good little bit of attention to
Rough
detail.
estimate. She's got about 49 million in loot.
She's got about 49 million in loot.
And she might go straight.
So there's this commercial. I think it's for like the Galaxy S9, like the Galaxy Note 9 or whatever. And like the whole commercial is just this little black girl, and like she plays Fortnite, I think, plays Fork Knife,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and like the whole video is just like her escalating from
That's where the cool
playing mobile fork knife on her phone to like becoming a part of this like E-League and playing for a professional team. And I'm like,
So is the idea you should get your kid the most expensive phone so they can have the best quality experience with their mobile game so that they can become an esports player? Is that the idea?
I don't know. Given that I didn't have anybody to buy the phone for, including myself, I found the commercial to be propaganda at best because I realize there are a lot of people who really do like fork knife, but fork knife isn't going to be around forever. Like, it's going to get. Okay, people thought like Call of Duty was like the best like first-person shooter for a long time, but then other first-person shooter. Well, actually, people thought GoldenEye was like the best first-person shooter for a long time, and then Call of Duty kind of came around, and then like Battlefield, and then all these other games.
I mean, people are going to always chase the zeitgeist. That's just how life is.
And yeah, 'cause I just feel like games like this are just designed to like make you not think about what's happening. It's like these games are a fad. It's like because when you see other like mainstream, like Black Ops 4 has a Fortnite battle royale mode in Black Ops 4.
Dancing with the little spider. Also imprisoning him in a jar against his will. Cute. Very cute. Wow. First time I caught Felicia, she was trying
What
to
is a
steal us.
zeitgeist? What type of
She
ghost?
finally went, what's this?
What is the exact thing? The black cat is talking to me.
This couldn't all have just been a game, could it?
Could it all be a game, or could it all be DLC stuff?
It's not DLC.
How? The place is like Fort Knox.
You know what? Maybe that's what that was alluding to. The DLC. I wonder if they planned for that. Like, did they want to? Like, did they originally plan to leave it vague, or was it like?
She let me find 50 million worth
The
of
exact
vintage
definition, by
pictures.
the way, of zeitgeist is the defining spirit or mood of a particular period of history as shown by the ideas and beliefs of that
Are you
time.
smiling? You sound like you're smiling. Gotta go.
So the fad.
I'm about to say so. Basically, a fad. Why not just fucking call it a fad? Using a big fancy word doesn't make it not the thing it already is. It's like, no, it's a zeitgeist. You mean it's a fad? I mean, yeah, but zeitgeist sounds a lot more like convoluted and complicated. Because if I go a fad, you know what a fad is. But if I say a zeitgeist, you're gonna ask me what's a zeitgeist, and I can sound all educated while I give you this really convoluted fucking explanation for a word that you already knew the meaning of. You sound frustrated. No one listens to me.
How many pigeons do I have left? I think 2. Might as well get those going up here. And then I can do the other 2 side missions that are around. I will say so far my least favorite thing to do is the Taskmaster stuff.
Oh yeah. I was honestly expecting that to be like, I expected you to be like, oh no, it's not that bad. I actually gonna enjoy it. And I was gonna tell you to go fuck yourself. But
I mean, it's not the worst thing ever, but I mean, I don't like it.
no, it's not the worst thing ever. Given it doesn't. Some of it's not hard to do.
Like
But
I'm
the
more
fact
or
that
less
they,
like keeping it around for when I upgrade all the way because that just makes sense to me.
Howard's pigeons.
what do you mean?
It'll be easier when I have more abilities and
No,
shit.
it won't. No, it won't.
It will for me.
How do you figure?
Because it will for me.
That doesn't make any sense.
I will have more tools at my disposal to do the things.
There's only 3 types. I mean, there's 4 actually. There's bomb defusal.
I could do it now and do it fine. I'd rather it be easier.
Yes, what I'm trying to say that it won't be easier
It will. I'll have
because
more
like
things to make it easier. My abilities will be upgraded more. It will
yes,
be
what I'm
easier to
saying.
do.
The majority of them don't require your abilities. Won't require abilities that can get better
Yeah,
because it's either
that's what I'm
there's
saying though. It won't require it, but it won't make it any harder.
no. I'm saying it. Okay, let me rephrase that. They don't require abilities that you can't upgrade. Like if by now, like if your swing speed isn't maxed out, like you ain't moving much slower than you're gonna be than you would be from being when you would be maxed out. Like it's not that much of an increase in speed. At least I couldn't tell. Like and again, apparently if you know how to swing, because like chasing the drones is a matter of speed. Uh, defusing like getting rid of the bombs is a matter of speed. Um, there's another one. Is it just those 3? I think it's nah. Then there's the stealth sections. Yeah, which is just stealth sections. Like you're not supposed to get spotted in those in general. So because what it comes down to is you have to do everything fast. It's not a matter of doing them well. Like it's not like an Arkham. It's not that Arkham bullshit where it's like we want you to do it like 1,000 different ways in one scenario. It's do it quickly, and it's bullshit. It's like you just have. It's one of those things. If you know how to play it, you can play it well. It doesn't matter what your upgrades are.
Either way, I'm saving it for later.
It's getting away.
I don't give a fuck what you do. I don't want you to be misconstrued with the whole like, well, when I'm better, it'll be easy. It won't be easier because it's a matter of speed. Like all of them are a matter of speed. Because I knocked them all out in one go because when I realized it was a matter of you want me to get excellent. Okay, you're scoring me and you're rewarding me based on my score. I was like, I don't want to do this, so I'm going to do it all now and then never do it again. Like I did enough to get the trophies needed for that section, and then I was like, bare minimum good enough. I wouldn't be surprised though if there are the tokens you get from that, because you can get up to 6 tokens per challenge, and even only getting 2 stars, you only get 3 So I wouldn't be surprised if to upgrade everything you need all the tokens from those. So it would require you to get 3 stars on all of them. But certain ones, like yeah, we just me and Jordan, like together, we were like, I can't imagine how I could do that quicker. Especially like when it comes to defusing the bombs, because they're placed apart, and it's just pick one on either side, go to it, and then work around. It doesn't fucking matter which one you go to. Like a circle. So anybody who might be watching this in the future, don't be lied to. Don't listen to him. Just do them now. Turn your back and never look at them.
I mean, I disagree because I mean, I want a 3-star all of them. That's the thing.
I know you do, and I'm just telling you, like, you're gonna have to learn to be faster.
I mean, like, but if I use like tools, like the what is it, the trip mine stuff, and I upgraded it more, it would be a tool that I could use.
But that's one. That's one thing. That's one thing.
But it could still make that time.
You're trying to 3-star
give me
all of them.
Yeah.
All of them.
Mm-hmm.
That's just one. That's 1 out of 4. I still think that's 4. That's the thing. I'm not like you're not. Either you're ignoring or just don't get. It's gonna help you with the stealth, and even that, like, it's still a matter of timing, because in those you can't get spotted. Period. Like at all. And
I'm just saying that tool could make that section easier.
Yes, and again, that doesn't matter. Because if you want to get all the 3 stars, you have to get all the 3 stars.
But that's included in all the 3 stars.
Yes, and if you can't get them all, it doesn't matter. If you can't get all the trophies to get the platinum, then there's no point in trying to get all the ones that are really convoluted outside the ones you can't get. I was like, I don't doubt that there are people out there who have figured it out and are able to do these things very, like, there is 4. There's the bomb defuse, there's the drone chase, the combat, and the stealth. Fuck, I knew it was 4. So the combat, I don't remember, I don't know what they wanted from the combat. Again, it was a matter of speed, and yeah, it's probably, but when it comes to like chasing the drone, it's a matter of being good at just getting through the air. And when it comes to like just like getting rid of the bombs, I couldn't figure out what they wanted from it. Like I really couldn't. Like because like it's not necessarily like it's the best I did was still real far off from the top score, like from the score threshold that needed for me to get 3 stars. So I didn't get 3 stars on any of them. But I did get 2 stars at least on almost all of them. Almost all of them. I got 2 stars. There's stuff like that to me. Like when I found out, when I hit those, I was pissed. I was like, that to me, the game might have been a 10 out of 10. That drops it to a 7 out of 10. Like that immediately drops it to a 7 out of 10. It's like, because this one thing, no one thought that, like, maybe you just don't need this. Maybe the fact that if the bomb explodes, he fails is enough. Maybe the fact that if he gets spotted, he fails, it's enough. You know what I'm saying? That in the fighting sections, they could have easily made it been like, you can't get hit. If you get hit, you fail. And that could be enough. No, they wanted to go the Angry Birds route. Oh, can you get 3 stars on this random bullshit? Can you? Look at the stores. Ain't not fast enough. At least with God of War, it was for sure you knew how to go about getting what you needed to do the thing that they wanted you to do. They're like, well, you have to be able to do this thing. Well, how would I do that? What would help me do that? This would help me do that. How do I get this? I need to go here and farm for this resource. Okay, so I'm just gonna go here for like an hour, and hopefully I'll have enough and be able to get this thing that will help me do that thing. That shit. So I mean, if you're watching this and you're like, "But I liked him," fuck you. Nobody asked you if you liked him. It's stupid. You don't pay me for my opinion, but I give it to you for free. It's fucking value. Son of a bitch. Did I wait?
What?
Okay, no, it doesn't matter. It's Charlie. So.
Yeah.
I have 4 things I need to charge, but only 3 charging ports. So
Well, someone's getting shaft then.
somebody might get the shaft. I don't know. It's probably gonna be the power bank. And I'm probably just gonna unplug the power bank and unplug it back. I'll unplug the power bank. So this controller's gonna and I just unplugged the controller.
He's eating.
He's emu? What?
J. Just J. Just said that I'm eating pigeons.
Sure. Why? I mean, why make sense?
And he leaves the viewers with the question, will we be next? So,
You know what the scary part about that is?
what?
There's somebody out there who like, what? Heck? I mean, Spider-Man's eating pigeons. Well, that's it, yo. Humanity is done for.
I'm also not the super biggest fan of these missions where I have to look at a picture and be like, yeah, this is where that is. I mean, they're not hard. I figured them out quickly.
I kind of enjoyed those. For the most part. I didn't love them. I was able to figure most of them out, but I guess because that wasn't. I guess it wasn't that bad because like at the end of the day, like it was just a matter of like taking my time. They weren't. I can deal with almost anything.
I mean, so far I've known exactly where all of them are. It's just I don't like them.
You know, as long as you don't time me and you don't rate me, I can see almost anything in a video. Like those 2 things will make me hate. Like I'm not sure what the specific. I'd imagine like it might have something to do later on, like the fact that this kid was able. This guy was smart and he could do this thing. So later in the game, we'll come back to him, which won't make any sense if we don't do those side missions. So, I've done all my side missions. And I've recorded them all. And, yeah, it'll be nice to get all this Spider-Man footage top, like edited and uploaded. I guess. I don't know why I want to do that. I don't know how. So you're calling yours Marvel's Spider-Man, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there are plenty of people who just call it Spider-Man PS4.
Yeah.
Which do you think? Do you think that would probably be the best title to go for? I think that's what, like, in the random moments, I think I'm just calling it Spider-Man PS4.
Yeah, because most people who search for it are just going to type in Spider-Man PS4. I just wanted to make sure that everyone knew it was this Spider-Man. Regardless if they want to type all that shit in, I do every time.
No, you do you?
Yeah,
It
because
doesn't have it like half.
normally I'd stream or do something else, so just about every time.
Hey, at least it ain't like with Twitch, where even if you do fix it, it doesn't matter. You still have to go to the stream and rename it.
Yeah, there is that.
I know there are people who love streaming on Twitch and they feel like Twitch is a great place for gamers. But as far as like like console users, it's not the best experience. Like, it's okay. You can be like, no, I don't mind doing this. That's cool. I'm just saying, like, I've definitely noticed, like, when it comes to the comments on YouTube, it's a lot quicker than it is on Twitch.
Yeah, the lag
Like, it
is
does
a little less on YouTube. Like the
the delay between live
yeah,
and
yeah.
yeah, the delay is a lot like shorter.
Honestly, I feel like at this point the only reason people like Twitch as much as they do is because it has all these benefits that
Emojis
YouTube
and
doesn't. And yeah,
oh.
when I say that, I mean like if you're a really big streamer on Twitch, they treat you better and pay you better than YouTube would.
Google ain't trying to help you out, though. That's the thing. Because it ain't YouTube, y'all. Y'all, it's Google.
I mean,
Ain't
but
just
Google
YouTube.
owns YouTube at this point.
Yeah. That's why it's Google. Not the dude who works at McDonald's. Ugh. Mm. What level is your Spider-Man?
Let me look. 34.
Damn.
Why?
I'm level 50.
Hmm?
I mean, I'm a hell of a lot further ahead than you are. But keep in mind, I've come to a dead stop. So, like, I'll come to a dead stop just do the benchmarks, which isn't worth it. Like, it gives you some XP every time you like reach a new stage, and like it's like tier 3 is the highest they all go. And I know you want to get the Taskmaster stuff done. I want to do the benchmarks.
All clear, Steve. Let's get.
Yeah, Taskmaster can totally blow me.
Steve. I like that Spider-Man doesn't hit the normal people, quote unquote, quite as hard, and when he does defeat them, he gently pulls them to the ground and webs them up.
Yeah,
It's a nice
he's
touch.
a nice guy. Makes you think like that Peter Parker. What a swell fella. Is that what it makes you think?
It makes me think that he doesn't want to kill somebody and say that makes him nice.
I didn't say nice, I said swell.
Well, no. That's
All
just
right.
no.
I'm not saying you had to agree. I just
No, I was just letting
wanted
you
to
know.
make sure that you got it right.
Well, I'm fucking making sure that you know that I don't agree.
So I bought this game on the Switch. It's called Hey Mark, fuck up.
That's an oddly specific title.
Wait, you know you're not the only Mark, right?
Yeah. Wait, what?
Are you?
What?
Yeah, I know, right? Blew your fucking mind. Thought you had the market cornered
I
on
bet you
Mark
guys get great
memorabilia.
reception up here.
I would say if I met anybody else with the name like Nightfire on their social medias, I would make more of a deal out of it than you would want me to.
You know, given that I have to put the numbers behind my name, almost everything, there are a lot more Nightfares than you would ever
Well, we're
believe
going
there
down
are.
there. Between
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised. But I bought this game on the Switch called Swap This, which almost sounds really fucking.
Okay. SWAT
Could you
sticks.
imagine just? Could you imagine somebody grabbing that junk like
one of the big
swap
ones on my
this?
list. I'm not even trying to pretend they're
You're
legit.
fucking
It's just
poison.
sad when criminals don't take pride in their work anymore. We'll see
Why
if
was
we
that
find out.
necessary? Why is that the thing?
I mean, it wasn't necessary, but you did it anyway.
It was $1 and some change, and that was like it was on sale for $1 and some change before it was even available to download. Well, before it was available to play. I could download it, it preloaded, but I couldn't play it until the 2nd of November. And it's a neat little time waster. It's just these frozen fish in like little squares, and you have to like make. Imagine the most simple version of Tetris you could possibly think of. Tetris Attack, that is. So like you have like different colored fish. And you have to link 4 or more fish together to create a chain that breaks. But you can swap any one block with any other block on the board. It doesn't have to be like adjacent. So like the whole point is to like you get 4 and they start to crack and then they break. So the whole point is like get them to start cracking, and then just try to keep adding more and more to it. And like every time you add one, it breaks a little bit slower. It's a weird little game, but it's kind of fun.
It does sound kind of fun.
I mean, I wouldn't put it on my Christmas wish list, especially since I already own it.
You know, I didn't realize till just now that the game switched my suit without asking me.
Oh yeah, when you put the cat suit on, I actually
Yeah.
like that suit.
I mean, I like it, yeah, but it didn't ask me, like, because I've been trying to switch suits every stream session,
Hmm.
more or less. And for no particular reason, just because. Off the wall attacks. Do I even know how to do that?
You dodge toward a wall and then attack off the wall.
And the other one is use trip mines on 5 enemies.
That water smells like soap. Doesn't taste like soap, mind you, but it smells like soap. Smells like a bath.
It's pretty satisfying to use one of those trip mines and hit the guy in front of him. He didn't quite do that. He tried.
Fuck. So we have 19 episodes of. We have this week covered, the next week covered, and the week after that up until Friday. So, yeah. Episodes do need to get uploaded.
Yeah.
Well, episodes need to be recorded, but everything's uploaded. Like everything's uploaded and scheduled for this week. So.
What are you doing after Call of Duty?
That's what I was trying to ask you nuts earlier. Oh, you mean after as a whole? Because I told you for Christmas we're doing
Yeah.
the Saints Save Christmas.
Okay.
Okay, so here's what I'm offering. Bad sex at a really decent rate. Like the sex is gonna be bad. Like I'm gonna physically try to hurt you.
I mean, depending on who you ask, that's not bad.
Now, hopefully, I asked the right person. Um, otherwise, I could find myself on the wrong end of the lawsuit. Can you sue? I say, can you sue me for sexual, like for like, whoa, what's the shit called? Can you sue somebody for sexual harassment if they don't work with you?
I think so.
The fact that you can't answer direct, like immediately, I feel like it should. It feels like it shouldn't be a thing, right? Like, cause I don't know. It just feels like that's like a workplace exclusive, like offense. You know what I mean? Okay, so here's what I got. I got Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. Because I'm gonna do them back to back. I'm gonna do 1 and 2 back to back. And then like later on I'll do 3, 4, 5, Underground 1, 2, and American Wasteland, because that's all I have. Now I can get Proving Grounds or Project 8, but I don't know Proving Grounds or Project 8 like I know these other games. So I need to get them and have played them a lot between here and there. Because I'll be real with you, I am not gonna like be able to. I can't do every mission in Pro Skater 4. I can't. Like I am bad at that game. Like that game is fucking hard. Like it's really hard. 3 not so much. 3 isn't easy. Like 3 is a little too fast, and it feels like it lacks the finesse that like 2 has. But yeah, anyway. So I got that, because these won't be adventure mode. Like these will be career mode until we get to American Wasteland Underground 1 and 2. That's when adventure mode will kick back in, because it's narrative based, and you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
But I also have NBA Street Volume 1, or just NBA Street. That laugh came out of nowhere and it frightened me just a little bit.
Good.
No, not good. I wet myself. Get me my towel. You know, for what it's worth, Def Jam Vendetta. I want to do Def Jam Vendetta.
Oh.
And again, that would be an adventure mode, but it'd be a very different game. It'd be a very different experience.
Wouldn't it though?
Super Mario Strikers for the GameCube, which will also be career mode because it's a sport. Which I am not gonna lie, like I am very excited to play for the channel because I love that game. That game is fun as shit.
I feel like that'll be another game that you can do that not many people probably have done footage of.
Yeah, probably, especially like probably haven't played it to like completion. Like played all the way through it to show off everything the game has offered. Yeah.
Like a legit let's play.
Oh yeah, of that entire game.
Ow.
I could do Super Mario Sluggers or Super Mario All-Star Baseball, but I don't want to because that game is hard as hell. But I could. I do bad at it. I'm really bad at that game, but I could do it. Other sports games. That's kind of it. No, I could also do WWE, WWF. I think WWE actually. WrestleMania 19 story mode, and people would realize how batshit that game really is. That game is nuts. That game is nuts.
The game is the voice of a generation, I'll have you know.
I'm part of that generation. I love that game, but the story mode for that game
is bonkers.
It involves you in a underground parking garage fighting off a multitude of henchmen, jumping from swinging pipes.
Yeah,
That's all I got.
that is what that game is.
The game is it is crazy. That game is a bundle of nuts. It's or a bundle of crazy. Um, but I do want to do the NBA street games like eventually, like do all of them, all three of them.
MJ, got the place locked down.
Uh,
Great. I'll call in
so
and
that's what we
I
got.
bet if the police check out those drop
So there are
boxes,
games I could do on the
everything's
PlayStation,
recording
just like
every
record.
second
But I kind of
hand.
want to do another full. Because what would be next? Like the next game to the next God of War. The next God of War would have to be God of War 1.
You don't want to do God of War 2 and just work your way backwards through the entire series?
It's too late.
Yeah,
I've already done. I did 3 first,
yeah.
and then did Ascension, and did 5, and then did like God of War 7. It's 7. People will fight me on that, but it's God of War 7, not God of War 4.
I mean, because it's a continuation of the story.
Yes, it's God of War 7. The PSP games were like tied into the story, even if you don't want to accept it, they were. So this would make this God of War
Like,
7.
even though you could follow the story without those games, I mean, there's stuff in that game that the lore says happened.
Yeah, without those
Yeah.
games, you don't know who Demos is. Like
Yeah.
you have no like you never get introduced to Demos if you don't play the PSP titles. Like you don't know who his brother is, and you don't know who his mother is either. Oh, so that's what I got. Like, but yeah, I kind of was hoping to like do the whole uh, career mode thing. And I specifically bought Pro Skater 1 and 2 just for that. Like I bought Pro Skater 1 and 2 so I could record them. And I have technically. I recorded Pro Skater 1. And I think I finished uploading them. I don't remember.
So does the Platinum not require you to 3-star all the Taskmaster shit?
That's the thing. The thing you weren't listening to me say earlier. There is no platinum. There's no trophy related to getting 3 stars. But I would not be surprised if there is a trophy that requires you to get X number well, get certain upgrades or to get all the upgrades to everything.
Yeah.
And to do that, you need to get all 3 stars on each of the Taskmaster objectives. Like, a part of me is almost sure that's what it's going to be. Then I'm just going to be a very unhappy person. I'm going to be the most unhappy man you've ever seen be unhappy. And you're going to be like, wow, that guy's really unhappy. What happened? He just had to quit a job. He never thought he'd have to quit. That's a Chowder reference.
What was his job?
Schnitzel quit working for Mung because they refused to give him a pay raise. They refused to. They just were mean to him, and he just walked out on them because he was like.
What exactly happens in that episode where they have to, like, when I say this, when the voice actors for the characters have to go do a car wash so that they can get money to restore the budget so that they can animate?
Yeah, that's the episode where Truffles gets sick. Truffles gets sick, and then they have to. They basically break things on purpose to get her lockbox of all the caterers' money, the caterers' money, and then they go to the mall and just start buying shit.
Because I was wondering what the context of them having to do that was.
What? I mean,
Like, what prompted that to happen? Like, I knew that it happened, I just didn't know why it happened.
oh, you didn't know what the plot was
Yeah.
that led to that. All right, I got you. Because I thought you were thinking, I thought you were asking me like what made the show writers
No, 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 no,
decide
no.
to take. I was like, you asking that? That's what you're asking out of it.
Because no one can answer that question. Ten finishers and 10 swing kicks. Okay.
But no, that show is like when I say that show is like really it breaks the fourth wall quite a bit because I forget like the clip I posted on Instagram where Chowder finds these things called sugar rubies underground, and basically at the end of the episode turns out that the sugar rubies are in a cave under Endive's house, and basically Endive crashes through the floor into the hole they've been caverning, and she's like, "You're gonna pay me for everything that these sugar rubies were worth," or I think they were either sugar rubies or sugar sapphires, but I'm pretty sure they were rubies because they were red, and sapphires are blue, and emeralds are green. I see you, Sonic the Hedgehog.
So, the Hedgehog, you said his full name.
That is his name.
Yeah.
That's his whole name. Oh no, it's not. No.
What do you mean?
Sonic's name? No, Sonic has an actual name.
Yeah, I mean, that would make sense because Tails' real name is Miles Per Hour.
Yeah.
Still hate that.
Do
To my core.
you feel like it's too on the nose?
A little bit.
Because like I feel like you see the people who came up with that like really proud of themselves, and like they think they nailed it. And you're just like, you see But no, so in that episode, they're like, "Oh no, we have to pay you back. There won't be any money in the budget for season 3."
Great.
And I have so many
there
more
money?
stories to tell. No, because there was
wasn't-
no season 3.
Well, I guess they shouldn't have told that joke because it came true.
Because if I'm not mistaken, I think I think it ended on a weird cliff. I don't think there was a season 3. I'm almost positive there isn't a season 3. But the last technical episode, I think the last episode that aired, was like like what ends up happening is Chowder doesn't want to grow up.
As he
And
should.
Chowder and he ends up singing a song about how he doesn't want to grow up. And then he holds a note for like 24 years.
And then he grows up.
When I say he holds a note for 24 years, I mean for
Yeah.
24 years. And then when it kicks back in, he's an adult. Like when he finishes his note, he's an adult. And he's like, "What happened?" And so basically, like the world around him has grown, but he has too. The world around him has grown, and he's completely unaware of it. And so, like basically, what ends up happening is Mung wanted to retire, but he couldn't until Chowder proved that he could be a chef. And Chowder was like, "I don't want to be a chef. I want to be a chef's apprentice." And so when he grows up, he's forced to accept that he has to become a chef's apprentice. He has to, and he ends up trying to like. He ends up how would you put it? He has to interview for apprentices. Like he has to interview for apprentices.
Okay.
And he turns everybody down. And I forget the name of the character. I forget the name of the guy that he picked, but it's basically a little green pea in a box. and he's just afraid of growing up. And there's a segment, and there's a part where he decides to just run away. And what ends up happening is like he opens his backpack, and his apprentice is in the backpack. And because Chowder was like, "Well, luckily I packed enough food, to last for a while." And he opens the bag, and
It's
the
empty.
apprentice is in there. And he's like, "I took all the food out because I couldn't fit."
Uh,
And I forget what his name was, but he was like, "Don't worry, I won't let anything happen to you." And it cuts like 10 seconds later, and they're both laying in the sun, completely sunburned. And he's like, "I'm sorry, I let everything happen to you." And then eventually, it just like the reality of the show ends with he marries Panini. They have an ungodly amount of kids, but given that she's a rabbit, I guess it only makes sense. He marries Panini. Schnitzel starts dating, and Mung and Truffles go on a vacate. Like, they retire, and it's weird. Like fucking Gazpacho opens his Gazpacho opens a how would I put it? A stand-up comedy, like fruit stand type restaurant thing.
comedy
That's what he
fruit
wanted to do.
stand. Okay.
I don't remember if that's what it was exactly, but it really does come down to he wanted to do stand-up comedy and sell food, but Mother told him that he couldn't because that's his shtick. And then Chowder was like, "No, you should totally do that. You can do it." And then Gorgonzola is the little fuck with the candle on his head.
Mm-hmm.
And Gorgonzola's entire thing in life is he needs Chowder to he needs to, without being able to rub his success in Chowder's face. His success doesn't hold as much meaning to him,
Everything's quiet here now.
and so he just wasn't happy with Chowder not being around.
But you're not.
But with Chowder being around, it's like
So
you
what,
can
did
rub
he
it in
just kill
Chowder's face.
himself?
Nah, he hired a kid to dress up like Chowder.
That's disturbing.
Yeah. But when Chowder came back, he was like,
That's all the places
Chowder was thick. He didn't get it. Like
life
Chowder's
a lot harder for the demons.
And he was just basically trying to get he's like, I win. He's like, win at what? I win at life. Congratulations. Don't congratulate me. And Chowder just didn't care. And then, yeah, Panini had so many babies. She had so
Time
many.
to shut Tombstone down.
How many babies did she have?
It was at least like 30. And then,
Were they what Chowder is, or were they
it was a combination. It was like some look like Chowder, some look like her.
any the missing
Nah,
link?
there was no joke saying that she was unfaithful to Chowder, but it's important that people remember that fucking Panini is a rabbit.
Yeah.
And there are some people might say she's not a rabbit. You can't tell that. She's a fucking rabbit. But she doesn't have long feet. Yeah, I know, but she's a rabbit. It's like it just is what it is. Like there are certain animals on Chowder that are clearly what they are. Like Gazpacho is clearly a woolly mammoth without tusks. He is an Indian pachyderm.
I'm not. Am I crazy? There's no lock-on button for this game, is there?
No.
That's what I thought. I'm fighting
Like once you
Tombstone.
start punching an enemy, you kind of walk on. But if I'm not mistaken, at the end of the episode, Chowder is just like, no, like this can't be. Or some shit. He's just unhappy. He just refuses to accept that this is his reality, that he becomes an adult.
So there's just no webbing this guy up.
Who are you fighting?
Tombstone.
Uh, that's a good fight.
I find it interesting that there's people just coming in from everywhere. I am the marketing department.
No, I was right. Yeah, there is no there is no season.
The fact that I'm throwing bikes at these people, I mean, they're dead. I don't care what the game tells me, they're dead.
Okay. All right, I watched this episode the other night, so that means these two should have been on tonight. Should have been. So if they're still airing Chowder, that means that it's on Monday night. Things should be back to normal. Like it should be back to season one. Okay, that's not the entire list of episodes. Okay, yeah, Schnitzel quits is that episode. Feeling underappreciated, Schnitzel decides to quit, but Mung and Chowder try to convince him to come back. He doesn't just quit. Like, he goes to work for Endive. So what's episode 1 of season 2? Let's see. Chowder and the gang must appease a family of obnoxious trees. Chowder resorts to drastic measures to save all his precious junk. I don't remember that one. Season 2, episode 2 apparently is 2 of these. Panini for President, Chowder finds himself used as a political pawn between Panini and Golden Boa. Chowder's babysitter Gazpacho babysits Chowder, and the worst thing imaginable happens. I don't remember that episode. After ingesting hot peppers, Chowder can't stop breathing fire. Chowder is the first. Okay, I remember the fire. I remember
Oh no, there's fire. And he's bleeding.
that. Okay, the episode you was talking about, it was called the spending spree. Mung Chowder and Schnitzel go on a spending spree, which is a very loose explanation of the episode.
So he's just gonna become Ghost Rider and use his fire whip on me.
Yeah, really. The party cruise. Where the child now past the VOTs among sexy Truffles gets a more pleasing voice. Dinner theater, Mung and the gang host a whodunit dinner theater. Ouch, fuck that hurt. I remember that.
Did I pop in your
Tired
ear?
of a yeah. The big ball. While catering a sporting event, Truffle and Mung argue over the ingredient. Oh, yeah, that one. The name of that episode is nuts. Chowder is frozen in a block of ice after drinking a frosty drink.
Time to end this.
My tongue feels funny.
Chowder creates a world on a canvas dimension. Chowder must brave the dark and an army of weirdos to restore power. Chaboodles! Chowder's friends are driven away by Because he eats grapes that have worms in them, and then a worm like comes out of his stomach, and it's just an obnoxious black dude. Oh no no no, Chowder! You can't do that on my mountain, no girl. That's what he says.
Of course, the worm talks that way. How else would the worm talk?
Uh,
Can we say your crazy drug lord days are
Gazpacho
done?
leaves a scout. Yeah. One creates a guard dog out of food, and yeah.
Not quite how I described
Schnitzel falls in love with Senorita Mesquite and fights for her love. Long accidentally ruins his tongue, so he asks Chowder to be his taste buds. When Gazpacho's mother is kidnapped by
it. Next,
ninjas,
I hope you'll be
he
taking it
seeks
easy
help
around
from a
your,
friend to rescue her.
mortal.
Chowder becomes a musical sensation after eating a gassy fruit. Okay, so there is a season 3, but I don't remember because the last episode isn't there. Oh,
I can't.
I guess it's go look. Got to go. DH Green Black. That's the name of the that's the name of the fuck mother that did this. You take the moon and you take the sun. You take everything that's the fuck. You ain't shit now, suck what?
Well, that was dramatic. Wonder how long till
Rudder,
the
rudder,
first
rudder,
dog's
rudder,
gonna be
rudder,
here.
rudder, rudder.
Hello.
Probably not long enough. Good work for now, though, Pete. Pats on the back all around.
Like they didn't list that on the thing. That's the one episode. Yeah, Cheddar grows up.
I'm getting emails from the rapidly shrinking yet still stubbornly obtuse contingent of Spider-Man fanboys and fangirls blithely insisting he did a wonderful thing, shutting down a drug lab run by a delightful fellow whose street name seems to be, wait for it, Tombstone. Now, I'm glad he's behind bars, but do you know how Spider-Man shut this operation down? By setting it on fire. Do you know what drug labs do when you set them on fire? They explode! Spider-Man could have taken out the entire block with his criminally reckless grandstanding. Fortunately, New York's bravest, our firefighters, contained the blaze because that's their job. And if Spider-Man had any sense, he'd have turned over whatever information he had on Tombstone to the police and let New York's finest do their job. But no, he thought the best way to handle drug dealing is with arson.
I was right by being wrong. They are called sugar sapphires because sugar and sapphire start with the S, and that's more fun to type out. But a sapphire is blue. And Ruby is red, and they were red in the show. I don't know why they weren't blue.
Four stars, clairvoyant's a total badass.
Did it ask you with us?
The girl in the spider's web.
Right, so as you can see, we have 2 slices of bread, which means this next card trick, it's a sandwich trick. We'll leave these slices over here. Lee, can you go ahead and say stop whatever you like? Stop. Right there, have a look at that card. That'll be your card. Needs you to remember that. And we'll leave that card somewhere in the middle. Now, this is where we're going to use one of the slices of bread. We're going to actually have that slice, as you're watching closely, is gone somewhere in the deck. We'll need the second slice as well. We're going to have that disappear somewhere in the deck. Just watch it. Keep your eye on that slice. And gone. Hopefully, 2 pieces of bread found the main ingredient of your card. So, yo, what's up, people? Today, as you know, we're announcing the winner of the contest, but not only that, we got a few interesting decks of cards to review. Really interesting decks of cards, actually. Interesting. Before we get into anything, I will let you know the winners are listed down below. So we've chosen 10 people to take home a $100 gift certificate, whether that's to Art of Play or Puzzle Master. Your name should be in the description, and you have received an email if you did win. If you are watching this and received no email, unfortunately you didn't win this time. Stay tuned because there will be more contests, maybe bigger contests on this channel soon to come. By the way, thank you to everybody who subscribed to me over on Twitch. I appreciate it. We're having lots of fun streaming over there. All right, guys, enough of that. Let's get into today's video. We are looking at 3, I'm not going to say like my top 3 decks, but the 3 decks that I found the most interesting in recent memory. These were sent to me by either Art of Play or
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and split the stream. I might continue. I don't know.
However,
I mean,